They were last seen at a rest stop, two brothers and a family friend, headed home from a weekend getaway. There was no warning. No struggle. Just a sudden and total vanishing. What followed was a baffling series of dead ends, false sightings, and one haunting discovery that raised more questions than answers. This is the story of the Lisk children. A case that began as a missing persons report and turned into a heartbreaking mystery that still leaves investigators searching for the truth. On May 10, 1992, Mother's Day, 12-year-old Mark Lisk, 15-year-old Michael Lisk, and their friend, 12-year-old Renee Stringfield, were wrapping up a camping trip in Idaho. They had spent the weekend at the C.J. Strike Reservoir with Mark and Michael's father, Marvin Lisk, enjoying the outdoors and celebrating the spring weather. That Sunday morning, they packed up the truck and began the drive back to their hometown of Kuna, Idaho. But somewhere along that route, they disappeared. Marvin Lisk told police he dropped the children off at a rest stop to use the bathroom. When he returned minutes later, they were gone. At first, authorities believed the kids had wandered off, or possibly run away. But that idea didn't last long. Their belongings were left behind. No one reported seeing them leave with anyone. And none of them had a history of running away. A full search of the surrounding area was launched, but there was no sign of the three children. No footprints. No discarded items. No evidence of struggle. They had simply vanished. The case went cold almost immediately. There were no leads. No surveillance footage. No witnesses who saw the children after the rest stop. Then, a break came, years later. In 2007, hunters discovered human remains buried in a shallow grave near the Ohi Mountains, not far from the original disappearance site. The remains were confirmed to be Michael Lisk and Renee Stringfield. They had been dead for years, likely since the day they disappeared. But Mark Lisk's body was never found. The discovery reignited the case, and raised a terrifying question. What happened in that short window between the children being dropped off and being buried in the wilderness? Investigators began to suspect foul play, specifically abduction and murder. But the case took an even darker turn when suspicion turned inward. Toward Marvin Lisk. As the last person to see the children alive, Marvin was scrutinized. His timeline was re-examined. Interviews revealed that his relationship with the children's mother, Judy, had been strained. There were past accusations of instability. Even a previous restraining order. But no physical evidence ever linked Marvin to the murders. And the case stalled once again. Theories began to spread. Theory 1. Marvin was responsible. Some believe Marvin lured the children into the woods and murdered them, possibly out of revenge, rage, or a mental break. But if he did, how did he hide it so well? Why only bury two of the three children? And why would he help search for them for years afterward? Theory 2. A stranger abduction. Others believe a predator may have taken advantage of the brief moment the children were alone. A remote rest stop is an ideal hunting ground for the worst kind of person. The children could have been forced into a vehicle, driven to the burial site, and killed quickly. Theory 3. Someone else entirely. Could the children have been victims of a larger crime, human trafficking, serial killing, or even a mistaken identity hit? While this theory has less evidence, the clean disappearance and burial suggest calculated action. To this day, Mark Lisk's body has never been recovered. Without it, police can't confirm how he died, or whether he might still be alive, though that possibility grows less likely with each year. Suzanne Stringfield, Renee's mother, spent years trying to keep the case in the public eye. She believed that someone in the community knew what happened, but fear or loyalty kept them silent. She passed away in 2012, never knowing the full truth about what happened to her daughter. The Lisk children mystery remains one of Idaho's most heartbreaking cold cases. 3 children. 1 short bathroom stop. And a trail that never fully appeared. If it was random, it was almost impossibly lucky for the killer. If it was planned, then it was cold, cruel, and calculated. Someone out there knows the truth. But until they speak, the voices of Mark, Michael, and Renee remain unheard, buried beneath time, silence, and dust. What do you think happened to the Lisk children? Was it a tragic coincidence? A father hiding a dark secret? Or a killer who has never been caught? Share your theory in the comments. And subscribe to the Silent Files for more forgotten mysteries and chilling true crime stories each week.